Hey, Patreon peeps, welcome back to the YTP Mini. I'm Jess, your host, and I'm here with Coach BJ. And also, we are here connecting with Coach Liz. Liz is a running coach, and she is currently taking on athletes, especially in the face of all of her races being canceled this spring.
I have
So,
lots of time.
welcome to the Mini, Liz. We're psyched you're here.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Actually, we just dive in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
let's
just
dive
dive
in.
in.
Yeah, races. I mean, this is like at the forefront of everybody's source of fear and doubt and purpose because like a lot of athletes are questioning why they're doing what they're doing. So you, coming off a big season last year in 2019, approached 2020 with one goal, and that was Lake Sonoma 50. And so I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, it was canceled. And I just want to see what your reaction has been and if you've been able to notice any thought patterns or flow of your decision process of feeling maybe some anxiousness or fear or doubt, and then maybe how you've navigated those emotions and found your purpose possibly.
So, Lake Sonoma canceled a little over a week ago, actually. It was one of those things where I was training and keeping the momentum going forward, no matter what was going on around me, with the information that I had in the moment. And the information I had in the moment was that the race was going to continue on. I also, with that going on, had where this hasn't been well, I don't want to label it not great or not good. It just was the training block I was having based on where I ended last year and coming into this year. And so those combined, when I found out, well, let me back up a second. I kept looking for the information, email, Facebook. Why am I not being told what is going on? Just something. All these races are being canceled around me. Why am I not being given any information? But then I had this moment where I was like, stop looking. When the information needs to be presented, it will be. And I just left it alone. And by the next day, there was a post on Facebook that, after a lot of consideration from everyone around them, the race would be canceled until next year. And I'm automatically in next year. So now, instead of only having 3 weeks left to train, I have 55.
How did you stop though? How did you stop in that moment? When the thought was looking for certainty, you're looking for certainty, and then you stopped that moment. How did you work through that moment? Like, what was it?
Well, it's just the consistency in my meditation practice that has enabled me to become more in the present moment and more aware of when I'm taking myself out of those moments. So it was so in that moment, I allowed the pause and the information to download and say, stop looking for the information. Okay, you're not in the present moment. And when the information is ready, it will be presented to you no matter what it is. And intuitively, did I really need the information? Because I knew it was going to be canceled. With everything going on, I just had a knowing. But I knew that when I signed up for this race, I knew I was meant to be on that start line. It didn't matter if the start line was this year or next year. I'm going to be on the start line. So now I get to be on there next year, and I get even more time to train and crush it.
When we do get the answer, the mind feels safe and reassured. But is that the ultimate answer, or is it temporary? Like, once we feed the mind with what it's so desperate for, like, we think that we need this answer so we can find peace. But is that really what brings us peace?
No, not at all. Because peace and calm aren't outside of us. And I'm learning that just with being home with my family and the information constantly changing. For example, with my younger daughter, School was closed till April 7th. Now it's May 4th. What's happening to track? Like there's a steamroll, but I can see all this happening outside of me, but I can still bring myself back to the present moment and my breath and have calm and peace inside. I get to choose that, how I'm going to be on the inside with what's going on the outside, and how I find my way back to that peace and calm, which is who I truly am, is through my breath and the meditation and present moment.
Spoken like a true yogi triathlete. But it's true. It's our peace, our calm, our happiness. It's never going to be on the other side of a choice or a decision that is outside of us. It's always that choice or that decision to go within, where we're going to find all of those elements that we crave so badly. We're going to find that they're already inside.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
So what Beej and I have been seeing, and perhaps you're seeing some of this too, is I feel like we're seeing even more and more people getting out and running now. If a person is just getting out and they're starting to run, as a coach, what are some things that they could do to build up safely? Because we're such a all or nothing society. So it might feel good that first day when they run 5 miles, but they probably are not setting up a recipe for longevity or health in their body. So what can they do to get started?
I would say one of the first things to do is just, if they don't have like a base or they haven't been running before this, let's just say they're just getting out, they want to move differently, just go out and take a walk. Just start with walking. And then, but if you are someone that, say you were already been a biker or a swimmer, or you're doing something else endurance wise, but now you want to run outside, then I would say you could go out and start running. But I would just take it one step and breath at a time, and just see how you maybe run for a minute, walk for a minute, run for a minute, walk from it, but easy, like take it easy. What I'm seeing a lot of is, now that we seem to have this concept of time, which is something I'm realizing in the last couple of days, is I always had this time. Why is it all of a sudden I feel like I have time to make those muffins? That time was there before. I was just choosing all this other busy stuff. And most of that busy stuff was right in my mind. And so don't go out with this, I have to run 5 miles. Be flexible and allow yourself some grace to just get moving, even if it's walk for a minute, run for a minute, even if it's 30 seconds. And then take a moment to breathe in the fresh air. And then you continue on. Keep checking in with your body. And then continue on. But I would say it's like little baby steps, kind of like with what we're doing with what we know right now. Just little baby steps. What's true in the present moment for me? What do I need right now? Does my body feel okay? Then keep running. If you feel good, keep going. But for me, I would not recommend going out and like doing 5-10 miles. I would just go out for a mile or two, see how it is, and then check in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 5 or 10 miles is just a number, and
Mm-hmm.
people feel compelled to reach that number because others have reached the number, or it's just an arbitrary number. Like, why couldn't it be 1 mile or 0.7 miles? Like, that's the real challenge, is to remove that stuff that you're talking about, this time element, which really, time and distance really doesn't mean much. It's the experience that you're having. And when you can remove those other two elements, you start to realize, and I think that's what, some of us are starting to see, and I've seen it on social media, is that they're having experiences and they're trying things that are new, and they're understanding that, this story maybe that they've told themselves, they've fought for their limitation of, my knees hurt, I can't run, are all of a sudden out there walking and running for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it is, and realizing that they can do this. And this experience that we're all having in this human life here on earth is really an opportunity for us to see this and test our stories. And running's going to have a huge boom, but it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the boom when everything returns to normal, or so-called normal.
Yeah, normal.
Yeah.
Normal
Whatever.
is just what
A
we
word.
created.
Right.
Normal is what we created.
Why can't this be our new status quo?
I love the point that Liz brought up about like, why didn't I have that time to make muffins? I was just talking to BJ about this yesterday. It's like, for us, our life really hasn't changed, which is amazing to see kind of where you are on the circle of this, what I would consider to be a mass karma. Now, somebody could hear that and say, oh, well, isn't that good for you? You know, like, oh, yeah. But let me tell you something. When I was the second person in Colorado to get West Nile virus, when I was 30 years old and told that I wasn't, they didn't know if I was going to die or not, I know what it's like to be at the epicenter of a virus. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be there before anyone even knows what it is. I know what it feels like to be told to go home and quarantine and not be near my husband, and that they don't know if I'm going to die and they don't know what I have, but it's an outbreak and I'm one of the first people. So I'm going to make it very clear that I know what it's like to be at the epicenter of one of these mass karmas. And what I'm seeing now is that we're kind of on this outskirts, but very much in a place where we're able to hold space for people, but only after I was really taking care of myself. And I'm kind of ebbing and flowing with social media, kind of backing off and coming into it. But what I was saying to BJ yesterday is that it's like this pressure of do has been lifted. It feels like such a gift. There's so much magical energy right now available, right? Because we live in contrast. So we've got the dark of the dark, but we also have this really magical energy available, which is exactly what you were just guiding runners to do, which is take a breath. Take a breath of the beautiful air. Look up at the sky. Like there's so much magic right now. No matter where we are in this circle or in this cycle, that we always have options of what we're going to focus on.
That was beautiful, Jess, actually, because this morning on my run, I was in between hill repeats and I just took a moment in pure gratitude of the universe and the blue sky and the buds on the trees. Like life is continuing. It's not stopping. And like you guys, my life hasn't changed very much. I work at home, I'm usually with the dogs. The biggest difference is my whole family's here and I have to go live in my closet to get certain things done. But other than that, it's, it's pretty much status quo for me because I do a lot of things virtually.
Yeah.
But what it's created is, I think what I feel is this is an opportunity for people to like slow down and be still. Like there's the doing, but I think it's also just as important for us to take in that stillness and tap into all the creativity that's happening right now.
Beautiful. Beautifully put, Coach Liz. I'm so excited to have you on our team of coaches here. And what do you want to say to your squad that is just waiting to join you? What do you want to say about this new venture with Yogi Triathlete?
Let's go. Let's do this.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, let's get present. Let's go.
I love it. Yeah, she's going to be laying on the presents thick, people. But we'll put information where people can get in contact and start coaching with you. So thanks so much.
Be amazing.
And Liz did make reference to being in the closet right now. And the closet, you guys, is a place where BJ and I will send many athletes to go and meditate when they've got kids or they don't want to wake the dogs up or they don't want to disturb their husband. Because waking up and lying in bed that's a no-go. You really want to be sitting. And so you don't even have to have a walk-in closet. It's just enough room for you to get in there and not move.
Or be disturbed.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Liz.
Thanks, Liz.
We love you.
Thanks, you guys. Love you guys.